Hello everybody, and welcome to your welcome video for ANP1 web course. We are in the second 8 weeks of spring 25, and I just wanted to welcome you. We're going to go over several important things in this video, and this is something you definitely want to watch pretty early on. And so the first thing we're going to take a look at is just this welcome PowerPoint, kind of go over some of the basics, and then we'll take a look at Moodle and some important things there. So I'm going to be your instructor, Miss Tier. I look forward to having you. This is my first web course to teach, and I must say I'm a little bit weirded out by the fact that I'm not going to be seeing you guys in person. So normally you won't see my face in the videos, but for this welcome video I wanted you to at least kind of get to see me and get familiar with me a little bit. Hopefully I'll get to see you guys and as you take your test, or I can see you on your attendance hopefully. But I look forward to working with you. And so we're just going to start with some basics. So you are going to be taking a web class, and if this is your first one, you definitely want to maybe pay attention to some of these things that we're going to be going over today. So the first thing is just your basic attendance. So since we aren't going to be meeting in person, your attendance is going to be based off completion of your assignments. So if you do not complete your assignments, then that will count as an absence. And absences can build up and could ultimately lead to you getting dropped from the course. So I just want to make sure that you understand that you do need to be present, and in order to be present, you do have to complete these assignments. So you're going to have these kind of week-long modules, and so it's going to be important that you are working on them weekly. Okay, the due dates are going to be very important, and if you fail to complete the online assignments, then that is going to result in an absence for the class. So it is mandatory. Obviously I won't be seeing you in person for me to take attendance, but you're only allowed 2 absences, and that can be for any reason. I know that life happens, but sometimes, we just have to make sure we're checking in, make sure we're completing work. Communication is going to be key. So after that 3rd absence, you could possibly be dropped from the course. So just make sure you're communicating with me if you do have something going on. All right, so materials that you're going to need for the class. There is a textbook. Now, this is something that you can purchase in the TC bookstore, but you can also download it for free, so you don't have to actually have the hard copy unless you just prefer it that way. Now, one thing that you will need to have are these lecture handouts. You can also find these in the TC bookstore. They were created by Miss Karen Grisham, but we're going to be using them for my class as well, so just make sure you pick those up. Because as we go through and as you're doing your notes, there's going to be some important handouts in there for you to access. All of your assignments and activities are going to be found on the TC Moodle page, which in order for you to find this video, you had to have accessed your Moodle page. But everything you need is going to be there. Be sure that all of your assignments are completed on time, because I do not take late work. Everything is set up kind of weekly, and so you have the whole week to get your work completed. I would highly encourage you not to wait until the last minute to try to get everything done. And that way, if life gets in the way, you will hopefully not fall behind, okay? So there are some materials and assignments that are just for practice. Not everything is for a grade, but everything is clearly labeled. So just make sure that you're getting the ones that are for a grade done in time. When it comes to your tests, you're going to have 2 options. You can either take it at home with your own computer on the Respondus Lockdown browser, or you could take it in the testing center. Okay, so you're going to have 2 options, and we'll take a look at that again before this video is over. So once again, all of your assignments are going to be on Moodle. For each of your kind of units, your lecture units, there's going to be PowerPoints for a particular chapter or part of a chapter. There's going to be videos that go over that PowerPoint, 1 or 2 objectives at a time typically. And then there's going to be other handouts like in your packet that you purchase, as well as just some handouts that you can print if they will be helpful to you. All right, the Moodle page is going to be essential to your success in the class, because everything you need, with it being an online class, everything is going to be on your My TC Moodle page, and we'll take a look at that here in a moment. It's going to look something like this. and it should be outlined pretty easy to follow. It's just a matter of you checking in regularly and asking questions if you have them. All right, so your grades are going to be in two categories. You're going to have all of your tests, which are going to be 70% of your overall grade. For lecture, we're going to have 8 total. Pretty much it's a one-time thing, okay? You're going to either go into the testing center or you're going to take it at home with the lockdown browser, but you only need to take the test one time, okay? Both options will be available to you, but you do not need to do both. You just need one attempt per test, okay? So there are none of these grades are going to be dropped. They all count, and so it's important that you do your best on each test, and it's very important that you do them on time, okay? The due dates are already laid out for the whole course, so please make sure you're completing everything in a timely manner and that you're paying attention to those due dates. So whenever you do go to the testing center, you want to make sure you have your TCID. Obviously follow testing center rules. Pretty much each test you're going to have about a 5-day window to get it taken. I would definitely encourage you to use the testing center, but you do have the option of the Respondus lockdown browser at home, and there's going to be certain criteria that you have to follow for that as well. Now all of your other assignments are going to be 30%. These are going to be your kind of homework type of assignments. Once again, no extensions. Please be sure you complete them on time. Some of them you only have one attempt, like certain quizzes, and others you can do them as many times as you need to. I will drop your lowest grade here, but just still make sure that you're doing everything on time, because nothing is going to drop you faster than zeros from not completing your work. All right, a little bit more on that Respondus lockdown browser. And so if you decide that you want to take your test at home, you will be expected to use the lockdown browser. You will need to have an actual computer or laptop. A phone is not going to work for taking your test if you're going to choose to do that at your home option, at your own home. And so you do need a forward-facing camera because it's going to be filming you while you are taking the test. On the welcome page, there's some information about the lockdown browser. There's a link to a Word document that kind of goes over some of the basics and the expectations. There's also a link to a short video about Respondus lockdown browser. Now, if you are going to use this option, there's a practice quiz that you must take, okay? It is not for a grade, but it's just to make sure that everything is working properly. So if you decide that you want to take your lecture test on Respondus, you will have to do this practice quiz before you are able to take the actual test. Now, if you plan on taking all of your tests in the testing center, you don't have to worry about this practice quiz, okay? But for those of you that plan on taking your test at home, you definitely have to get this done before you're able to take an actual test. When it comes to getting started, obviously you're there if you're watching this video, but you're going to want to start with the welcome page and getting started. There's going to be a couple of assignments that you have to complete before you're able to get into the units for the course. And so the first one is going to be to watch this welcome video. There's a quiz that you're going to have to take once you are done watching the video. And then there's also one on Moodle, just to kind of help show you how to navigate and where you can find things on your Moodle page. And so you need to be sure that you complete your Moodle quiz and your welcome video quiz. And anytime you see an assignment that has a lock like this, you can click on the lock and it will tell you what you must complete before you can continue. So you're not going to be able to access any of the course materials until you have completed certain assignments under this welcome page as well as the syllabus page. And so once you've completed the welcome page activities, you have the welcome video and quiz, you have the Moodle video and quiz, and then you need to move on to the course syllabus and info section, okay? And that is where you'll find a copy of your syllabus for the course, and you will also find another quiz that you need to take. The quizzes are pretty simple, but you must kind of go through that syllabus, read over it, and then when you take the quiz, there will be some questions about what you have seen. All right, so once you get all of that done, you should be ready to kind of get into the course material, but I want you to be aware of a couple of other important things. So we do have a couple of A&P tutors. It's Miss Crystal and Mr. David. They are available to help you. And whenever I have their hours for this semester, I will post them under your course resources. So I don't really know what they're going to be for the second 8 weeks just yet. But I just want to encourage you to use them if you're struggling. You're also always welcome to make an appointment and come see me. But these tutors are great at what they do, and they are here for you to help you, to go over things, to explain things. And so I would encourage you to take advantage of that opportunity. All right, and a little bit more along with tutors, studying is going to be huge for this course. If this is the first major class that you're taking here on the TC campus, you may or may not have effective study skills, and this is one of the biggest hurdles that you must overcome in order to be successful in anatomy and physiology. This class is going to cover a tremendous amount of information, and it's going to be very important that you know how to study in order to retain and understand that information. So this is not necessarily the best of the best, but this is just my personal opinion. I created this PowerPoint. I taught high school for many, many years, and I use this with my high school students, and I use it with my college students as well. But there's a PowerPoint that's available to you under the course information and resources, and there's a video of me kind of going over that PowerPoint if you'd rather watch that. But if you really haven't ever developed great study skills, this can be just at least a couple of things that you can try, some tips and tricks that may help you be successful. But I will tell you that if you do not have effective study skills, this class is going to be very difficult. Okay, so this is something you may want to check out early on before you take your first test. All right, communication is going to be really important in this class since I don't get to see you face to face. I'm going to encourage you to email me. Okay, anytime you have questions, please don't message on Moodle. Those don't go through very well, and I can't easily respond to those. But if you email me, I have it set up on my phone. It should give me a notification, and I will try very hard to get back with you very quickly. But anytime you have questions or concerns, don't hesitate. Just shoot me an email, let me know what class you're in, and just kind of be specific about what help you're needing. But I will be more than happy to help you. I just need you to communicate with me. And at this point, we're just about ready to begin the course. So here's my contact information if you do have questions or concerns. Email me is probably the best way to get in touch with me. You can call and always leave a voicemail if I don't answer. I have certain hours that I will most likely be in my office, but if I'm not, you can always leave me a voicemail and I can check it as soon as I return. But email, like I said, you can access me just about any time through email. And so before we end this video, I did want to just kind of give you a brief, very quick look at your Moodle page. I know you have a whole nother video to watch, but when you go to your Moodle page for this course, it's going to look something like this. Some of this material is not going to be visible because you can see that I don't have it published to students. But I mainly wanted to just go over this welcome portion. Okay, so before you're able to access content, you need to go through the welcome portion and the syllabus. And so here I have a copy of your class schedule. This is something that's going to be crucial. It's got all of your due dates on it. And since I don't see you in class to give you a paper copy, you might want to pull that up and print it, keep it handy. You can also find it under course resources. Here's the beginning things. Here's the welcome video that you are watching right now, as well as the PowerPoint that we just went over. There's a quiz that you need to take. Here's another video about how to access Moodle. Now this was made for a hybrid class, but it's essentially going to be the same basic setup. And then you have another quiz to take there. All right, if you decide that you want to take your test at home, here is the Respondus Lockdown Practice Quiz that you're going to have to take. So if, let's say you take the first test in the testing center, but you decide that you want to take test 2 at home, you can always come back and access this at any time, okay? But it is important you must do this before you're able to take your Respondus test, okay? Here is a link to a document about Respondus Lockdown Browser, as well as a kind of brief introductory video for students on how it works. And then once you've completed this material, you will then go to your syllabus section, and that's where you will find a copy of the syllabus for this course and another quiz that you need to take, okay? Now, once again, the video is probably going over a hybrid syllabus, but it's the same basic concept. You do not have to watch the video in order to take the quiz here, okay? You just have to access the paper copy. And then everything else that you need to know is probably going to be in your Moodle video, or it will be as we intro each unit. I'm going to have an intro video for each lecture test and kind of go over the basics for that particular unit. So I hope you guys are looking forward to the class. It's going to be a challenge, I'm sure. I'm definitely looking forward to having you, and I think once again the biggest thing that you're going to need to do is communicate. If you're having any trouble, please know that I'm here for you, and I will gladly help in any way that I can. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I look forward to working with you this semester.